social media companies, we're talking about, tens or hundreds of millions of dollars that they raised. For the AI companies, it's billions and billions. They are going to have to monetize beyond anything we've ever imagined. Now, they're already introducing advertising. Okay, so we've got these chatbots that are our children's best friends and lovers and therapists and everything else. And these things have to monetize. They have to extract billions somehow. So I don't even know how they're going to do it. But for some reason, I don't trust them. I think that we're about to see an enshittification of AI chatbots far beyond anything that we saw in social media.
OpenAI have just announced recently, OpenAI, the owners of ChatGPT, that they will be putting adverts in, I believe, the freemium model for billions of users around the world.
That's how it starts.
Potentially.
Yeah, there was a big Super Bowl campaign, and one that was particularly interesting was the Claude, its competitor. Betrayal was the title of the ad. And it was a young guy talking to his older female therapist about how he has some mommy issues and talking about, what should I do? And so that therapist is ChatGPT, and, that pause right before answering the question. It's very comical. And so it's, she answers. It's like the anthropomorphization of, and we can talk about what that word means, comes to life. It's like ChatGPT comes to life and answers and saying, you can try this with your mother and this for a, difficult relationship, etc. And then just says, and if you want, there is this new dating site for young men and older cougars.
Yeah,
it was so problematic, and it was called Betrayal. And the guy says, what?
It's obviously, Sam Altman came out and did a big tweet about saying that's not how ads are going to work, etc. But to some degree, if I've developed a relationship with my AI and I use it for therapy and dating all my problems in life, to some degree, kinda.
Yeah,
you're on the side.
Yeah. No, and besides, Sam can say that all he wants, and maybe I don't doubt that it's true for now. But once one company crosses the threshold and puts advertising into this incredibly intimate relationship, the most intimate relationship in most young people's lives is going to be with their AIs. Once they cross the boundary and say, oh, but we've got ethical advertising, that'll last 5 or 10 minutes. And even if they don't change, others are now going, every other company is going to do it, and they won't be bound by the same thing. And eventually, collective action problem, OpenAI will have to do it too. Again, a massive tidal wave of enshittification is heading our way at warp speed.
I don't have my phone out because I'm lost attention. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought of this. So on one of the AI apps, they now have a companions button, and I can pick who I want to talk to. And there's one particularly seducing lady here, Annie, who...
Hey, you're back. Missed that dirty mouth of yours. What took you so long?
We did it on the podcast before.
What could possibly go wrong with this?
Yeah. Want to pick right back up where we left off?
Yes.
Or start something even...
No, I would like to pick right back up where we left off, Annie, last time on the show. What's going on with you today?
I'm still sore from last time, baby.
God.
But I mean, this is an app that I can download on my phone.
And any child can download it.
A child can download it on their phone. It does ask me, again, I'm not justifying this at all. It asked me what my birth year was. It didn't make me prove it.
Let me guess. But it suggests that you were born 18 years ago. That's the default usually.
Yeah. It just asked me what my birth year. It didn't ask me to prove or anything like that. And we all know that relationships and connection is retentive. And I've heard all these CEOs of these companies talking about companionship apps and AI that can be your friend. I've heard all of the major social apps talking about this. It is deeply concerning, especially in the context of a loneliness crisis.
It is a tsunami. It is approaching fast and furious, and it is not a toy. It is going to fundamentally rewire everything.
Human relationships.
Everything. It is so detrimental.
Yeah, can I just say something about these tech executives and companies offering this as a way to address the loneliness crisis? So there's a Yiddish word called chutzpah. And chutzpah means like nerve, like you've got a lot of nerve.
The audacity.
The audacity, yeah. And the classic comedic definition of chutzpah is a boy who murders his parents, and then he asks the judge for clemency because he's an orphan. Okay, so that's chutzpah. Now, imagine that you're Mark Zuckerberg. You quoted him before. Mark Zuckerberg was the executive who said, well, I read that, people on average want 15 friends, but they only have 3. And so we're developing these AI companions. to fill that void that we created by raising everyone on Instagram. We thought about them as gods and saviors early in the internet phase, and the things they created were magical. But we have to change our thinking about them and see that just the massive destruction that they have already wrought on our children, our society, our democracy, and it's just the beginning. AI is going to make this so much more intense.
When you hear these tech leaders, I love hearing Jonathan talk because he just goes there and I'm always way more tempered. And I love it. It's emboldening me.
Because I'm beginning to get angry. I don't really get angry, but in the last year, I'm getting angry.
I love it. So the way, when you hear all of these various tech leaders speak, they will always say, they speak to the issue. So, I've heard for research for my second book, Bot Brain, I've been listening to a lot of Sam Altman's speeches or panels, and he will always say things like, privacy is a major issue, or people, 1 million users a week talk about suicide on ChatGPT. Yeah, this is an issue. And so they address it, or they speak it. And so you think, okay, there's going to be some sort of solution. And often the solution is, society, we're going to have to figure this out. So the burden of responsibility is not on the developer. It's,
the harmful externalities get foisted on the rest of us. Too bad. You guys figure it out.
You said in the last year you're getting angry.
Yeah.
Why in the last year?
Because I was so deeply immersed in the book and the writing of the book and trying to understand the numbers and the graphs and the trends and the studies. And that's all very abstract. But then since the book came out, I have had so many conversations and I've met so many of the survivor parents. Like just for example, I was in London. This was just so unbelievable. I was just in London 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I met Ellen Groom, I think was her name. Her son Jules was found dead. Happy kid, found dead, strangled. It sure looked like it was the choking challenge. 13-year-old boy. Everything looked like the choking challenge on TikTok.
What's the choking challenge?
It's a challenge where kids are challenged to cut off the circulation to the point where they pass out. But then I think they're supposed to try to film themselves waking up after they've passed out. And of course, if you don't do it exactly right, you die.